All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Our Capital. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning, every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That starts with you clicking that, and really do appreciate it. Help this channel grow. Hopefully, one day I get those cool plaques that I can put on my wall. Here we are right in front of you on your screen is our website. If you're interested in any of our paid services, we also have a free plan, which is our live market blog on Discord. Just go to our website, www.gar.capital. Click on Access Our Discord. Scroll down, and you'll see Not Sure Where to Start. Click on Free Plan. Then you will have access to our live market blog up early in the morning just for you guys. And then we work late as well with our team. More the morning shift. The rest of the guys are night shift. So we got you covered either way. Glad to be with you this morning. It's a beautiful day out. Beautiful day in the market because, well, the market's green and we like that. So let's get to it. Let's get to the full screen. There we go. All right. Good morning, all. Any questions, feel free to comment in the comment box here on YouTube. Dow futures are up 196 points. NASDAQ is up 163 points. With the Russell up about 17, S&P up about 0.60. 10-year Treasury yields continue to fall, 4.123. Very, very important to keep an eye on. Yields. Dollar index is down. That means Bitcoin, crude oil, commodities, gold is going to go higher. VIX, volatility index 1396. Crude oil is higher. Gold we traded earlier this week. Let's see if crude oil gives us something to trade. We traded NQ today, NASDAQ futures, 110 points this morning. A beautiful trade by Nick. Well done. Playing the short that we did yesterday as well, and then we played a bounce. So beautiful start to our morning, guys. Something to talk about this morning in terms of what's moving, what's shaking. Palantir had some headlines out. Palantir was a name that I've been watching for a while. As you know, we've been trading it. We're above 25.69, guys. So here's what we're looking for. 31.27 is my major target for the stock. Probably by the end of the year, we look like we can get there. We can probably get there in early 2025. More than likely, to me, it'll probably be towards the tail end of the year. So looking at Palantir here, really all we're doing is getting back to this kind of cluster of move here from 2021, early 2021 on to October 2021 as well. But the gap fill is right here at 31.27. This is from the weekly candles, 25.69. Start keeping an eye on the 27s, the 28s, 29s, possibly the 30 calls. What we're looking for, guys, is major volume, and we want to buy time to mitigate chop. Again, worst case scenario, we get that pop in the morning and we fade back. Again, no need to rush, but again, keep an eye on Palantir for additional movement. Once it cracks 30, then that gap fill is basically already going to be baked in. And now we're looking for the real major breakout, possible all-time highs. But Palantir has been a great stock for us. We've been watching it years now. Love this name. So we're above our alert. The idea, guys, is to take your time, look for volume. Again, we want to buy options that we can sell. I don't want to buy penny stocks. It's easy to buy a penny stock. It's hard to sell it. I don't want major spreads. What are major spreads between bid and ask? If you have a certain amount of money in between those numbers, it's going to cost you money to trade it. Like right off the rip, you buy the option, you'll be down 20%. We're not trying to do that. We want something with high volume, something that we could sell. So Palantir being a great candidate today, we're going to make sure to keep an eye on that. But again, the volume is going to be the key, and we want to buy time. Nothing for this week. I don't want to get chopped. Palantir, see, Mohammed already knows what's up. I already answered. Google, we traded yesterday. So that was a great trade. That was the 130s. Again, that breakdown, we're below the 200-day. We're now back above it. So kind of what I want to do with Google is I still want to short it again. But I'm going to let it play out a little bit and see if we can get back below the recent lows. And if we do, then we can target, brace yourself, right around 127 or so, or even as below as 121. And at 121, I think that's a pretty great place to maybe scoop up some shares. Not the best discount right now. Google is trading at decent valuations, don't get me wrong. But not all dips are the same either. This is nice. Don't get me wrong, but think of it kind of as a Tesla. Tesla, had a discount and pulled back even more, and it is pulling back more. It's down at 178.30. Take a look at the 4-hour because that'll include the pre-market. And again, we're looking for 176.13. If we can get that, then we're looking at the 160 range. So Tesla, we're not done with you. I want to short you again. That's where we're looking at. Apple is a candidate that I'm probably looking at buying some dips here. And the only reason I say so is that we're near that support from October. So again, we could always fall a little more, hit 166, but I'm kind of leaning towards 170 being that support on Apple. Maybe get an opportunity to play a gap fill to 170. Where's this gap here? There's a gap here at 173.75. I don't know if we may get there today, maybe with a nice push, but that's where we are currently. 175 looking to be near-term resistance. Not the best setup for me yet. I mean, I think we're a little too close to the gap fill anyways, but keep an eye on possible support here. If you're looking to nibble a little bit of Apple, this might be the time. Again, I think dollar cost average is the best way to go. But looking at this chart, I think Google has more downside, Tesla has more downside, but I think Apple bounces. So just be careful there. We're getting rather close to the 100-week moving average. That might be your hard deck of support. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Gustavo's talking about SE. Let's look at it. SE, did it fill that gap? Let's see it here on the daily. Yeah, filled that gap. Filled that gap. Okay, so now the question is, do we get up here to 66.92? If you break above 58.95, there's a gap fill here at 64.86. So anything within that range, just keep an eye on volume. I would say kind of 60 plus to around 65. Whatever stands out is probably going to be your best bet on SE, but it looks great. I think you can trade that. Palantir we talked about. Ryan, good morning. TLT, yep, starting to bounce a little bit. It is above the 200-day. We talked about that golden cross. So far, it's held up enough so it's not a death cross. We don't want this 50-day below the 200-day. So far, so good. We're holding on. TLT, yes, I do expect that to go higher. I expect bonds to be a bit higher. Any FOMC or Michigan sentiment numbers coming out for the rest of the week? We have non-farm payroll on Friday. And then we have crude oil inventories today. We have unemployment claims tomorrow. We just had the private payroll number that was posted on the blog as well. It was a slight miss. But I think the market has been really ignoring the ADP numbers lately. Pretty much NFP, non-farm payroll, the government, the Department of Commerce. That seems to be the number everyone has their eye on. In regards to Michigan sentiment, I have not seen anything as of yet. Palantir, baby. Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, man. TGT. Let's take a look at TGT. TGT's got a triple top resistance at 181.01. So what I want here, if we're trying to trade this name, break 181.02, you could target 200. That's about a 10% gain. That's your massive gap fill. So we need to break this triple top. This might be area resistance kind of moving forward. The moves are already priced in. Just be careful that this doesn't come back down and fill. But target finally looking like a turnaround story. I like it. I definitely like it. See if it breaks 181. Baba seems as it bounced. Baba seems like it bounced. Any opinion? That's from Mitchell. Yeah, some Chinese names are bouncing. JD, also JD.com. I have notes here this morning. Let's see. JD.com, the e-commerce company, posted a quarterly revenue increase and launched a new $3 billion share repurchase program to start on March 17 and last until March 2027. Leading shares about 10% higher. So we're probably getting that BABA move due to the sympathy of JD, meaning because it moved higher. So you got a gap fill here at 71.94. I'm going to wait for 80. And then really I've been ignoring BABA. There's nothing to really trade there. Mara, I hate to say it, but Mara, I've moved on to bigger and better. It's not you, it's me. Meaning it's really BITO. To be completely honest, I think Mara is just way too volatile. Yes, there is massive upside when you trade them. Yes, they're fun sometimes, but I think BITO is the better trade if you're going to stick with Bitcoin. Mara is still a company. Mara still has to have reports. Sometimes they do convertible notes, bond offerings that'll screw your long position. But if you stick with BITO, give me above 31.01. I want to trade BITO again for higher. We'll keep an eye on volume, but I think I'm done with Mara. I don't want to trade that anymore. That's so 2023, man. I'm just kidding. What do you think? What do you think of AAP? Advanced Auto Parts. All right, let's look at the chart. Yeah, starting to get the breakout now. Nice. Well, near it. 74.83. If we get that break, we have a gap to fill at 109.53. That would be your target for upside. So AAP investors or traders, nice eye. Let's see if we can get that break above 74.83. We're about to golden cross too. The 50 above the 200 day. So AAP might be bullish. Man, good eye. That's actually an excellent looking setup to trade. We're talking about a possibility of 80% upside on here. Nearly double. Not quite. 109 from what? 81? Yeah, not even close. More like 50% gain. Thoughts on SPY? Yeah, we're getting a bounce here, obviously. Yeah, you're just bouncing off the, well, not really bouncing. Let's see if they get a better setup here on the hourly. Yeah, we bounce off some relatively decent short-term support of around 504. It's chop, guys. Let's be real. SPY is just chopping. Yes, equal weight S&P is outperforming, but this is with Apple and Tesla down, guys, and Google down, and Microsoft pulling back, and Meta pulling back, and their whole system going down, and NASDAQ barely falling. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what if these names got their act together? How high can we go? That's really the question. Hi, good morning, Carlos. How do you see V, which is Visa? It has an upward trend in daily candles. Just yesterday, it bounced. I think Visa is a long-term hold. I think they're an incredible company. Visa and MasterCard, you can't go wrong. Credit card processors are extremely profitable. They get paid by swipe from the merchants, and they have no credit risk, meaning that they're not the ones offering you the credit cards. That's the banks. The Visas just make the money off the swipes. And then you have the Apple Pays and all that stuff. So I think the only competition Visa has is Bitcoin. So why not just own both? I think Visa is a great long-term move. You could buy it literally at any price. If you look at the weekly, it's a breakout. It's a breakout above 255. Just own it, man. To be honest with you, dollar cost average it. But there's very few companies out there that have that kind of like A1 confidence. I would say like Microsoft being another. Visa is up there. Like that's one of those stocks that you could just pass on to your grandkids if you had children. DKNG. DraftKings. Good old DraftKings. One of my faves. Okay, as long as you hold 42.02, that's what we're looking for. And if we break above 45.75, the recent highs, we can see a lot more upside, but keep an eye on the volume. We already traded DraftKings, and I think we got that this week. Did we get DraftKings this week? Yeah, we did. We got that in the money calls, 35%. SMH, the semiconductors. Everyone loves semiconductors. I mean, we said it last year in 2023. Own SMH or just buy NVIDIA. That was in January 2023 because semiconductors are the new oil. Trading around is going to be extremely difficult, by the way. Extremely difficult. So buy and hold, take some profits. That's really up to you. In terms of what I'm looking for, with regards to the semiconductors, Micron is something I'm watching very, very closely. So we can play the 98 calls. That's something that, yeah, I'm interested in. Maybe we can get above 96 with good volume. We'll trade the 98 calls. So AMD is just getting too expensive for a signal. NVIDIA is way too expensive for a signal. SMCI is way too volatile for signaling at all. So I think Micron is probably, or Intel being the next ones that we're going to look at. And then we'll answer Microsoft, excuse me. Yeah, Microsoft bounced rather nicely. Powell is speaking today in front of Congress. It's holding that 200 MA on the 4-hour candles, 4-hour candle basis. Still an upward trend. I still think Microsoft gets to 420 before it gets down to 385, for example. That's going to be something that's going to bounce. Microsoft is pretty bulletproof as it gets, guys. Good morning, Bitcoin futures and gold. Yes, someone wants to talk about gold. Finally. 2152 is the highs. If we break that, then we're going to see for continuation. We're at all-time highs, guys. We've been long since 2100. We took our profits, but I wish we would have held a little longer. But That's stop losses for you. Sometimes you get these little wicks back, and then you just get little bounces here and there. There's never a straight shot. These kind of price action on the 1 hour, that doesn't last forever. But when it does, it's nice for momentum. Gold has more upside, guys, as long as the dollar continues to fall. Same thing with Bitcoin. You see that this is this is not an accident. It's just the reality. The dollar is breaking below the 200-day. Now you got the 50-day there. If we can break below 103.31, Bitcoin's going to go higher. Crude oil is going to go higher. Gasoline prices are going to go higher. Same song, same dance, guys. So again, if you want stocks to go higher, you want Bitcoin to go higher, you want gold to go higher, you need this number to go lower. All right, I think that's all we got. All right, team. Thanks so much for your questions. We'll leave it there. I will catch you guys on the market blog on Discord. Let's make it a great Wednesday. We don't have a scope in terms of premium signal options, so it feels pretty nice not to worry anymore. We're already 6 for 6 for the week. I'll recap that later this weekend, and we'll go over our streak in terms of options. We've done very, very well, but we ain't done yet. Masterclass got some risk open, so I still got to work. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys on the Discord. Cheers all.